finally, we are at the pinnacle of season 7. I gotta be honest with you guys. I love the Bad Batch stuff. I thought the season opened really strongly. But as far as the rest of the season has gone, it's great seeing Ahsoka again, right? It's great. I'm not gonna bullshit you and lie. It's been great seeing Ahsoka again, of course. But these last few episodes, they've just, in my opinion, they've just not been it. And you know, there's one criticism going around, which is that these, you know, the original show, quote unquote, for the 6 seasons didn't have episodes like this, which it did. There were episodes like these ones where, I don't like using the term filler, but it, you know, you guys will know what I mean. It's filler, essentially. To me, it's filler. There's a few key things that happen, but nothing major. Nothing major really. And I don't know, it just feels like kind of a drag. So I'm really excited to really push on into the final 4 episodes. And what people don't realize is why I have a problem with the last couple of episodes is because this is the final season and it disappeared. So surely, bringing it back, you would want a sense of finality to it. You'd want to come in with, you know, balls to the wall, not hold any punches kind of thing. Instead, we get some kind of Coruscant story with Ahsoka and friends. I just haven't really been enjoying it. I've just been kind of watching it because it's got the name Clone Wars attached to it. And now we're getting into Maul territory, which is exactly where I wanted to go from the jump. And what's a shame is that this isn't even a complete season. There are so many unfinished arcs that we will never see, ever, except for previous scenes. Stuff with Boba Fett, Asajj Ventress, and it boggles my mind how that gets cut, but the Ahsoka stuff stays in. Realistically, you only need a couple of these episodes. You don't need all of them. You really don't. But, you know, hey, it's just my opinion. You know, we've all got subjective opinions. If you guys liked it, that's cool. All the power to you. I just thought it started off strongly and then kind of fell a bit weak. But, you know, all the same, I can only hope for a better turnaround, so to speak. So, without wasting any time, let's get into this reaction. Let's check out this final TV spot. And this is probably going to be the last reaction for Clone Wars ever. Because after this, no more. To react after that, I'd have to watch episode 3 again, which I've done 1,000 times. Anyway, so let's go. And let's go.
They've been waiting to see you.
We need them as a skin in Battlefront 2.
Loyalty means everything to the clones.
Better.
Surely you have felt it. The dark side has never been stronger. Every choice you have made has led you to this moment.
Love Darth Maul. Ooh. You gotta give me more. It's back to the red. Logo's back to red. Real Clone Wars fans, you'll know what I mean when I say it's back to red. But that looked interesting. That looked good. That looked cool. I can't lie. I want the Clone Wars to just end now. I'm happy that we got it back, but I really want it to have a sense of conclusion, if you know what I mean. And I'm happy that we're getting it. But it's because I've been so far removed from Clone Wars for so many years, in terms of waiting for it weekly. I'm not used to this. So it's different. But I am excited to really get to the end, just to see how it all goes down for the Clone Wars show and whatnot. And it is one of the best television shows, like animated especially, that I've ever seen. You know, not just from a Star Wars perspective, just in general. Just the character arcs, the story. You know, there are certain characters you can't touch, like Anakin, Obi, because obviously Revenge of the Sith and the original trilogy, you can't touch them. But there are characters that were introduced, like Captain Rex, who translates into Rebels, Ahsoka, who translates into Rebels, and possibly Mandalorian. You know, I would love to find out what happened. There's one clone that's still alive around that time, I think it's Kix, isn't it? You know, it's created such a wave of nostalgia to be watching any Clone Wars episode again, you know, realizing that we're not going to see it anymore. And I think what's great about this period in time for Star Wars is, with everything going on with the sequel trilogy and the spin-offs and stuff, is we're really going into a new territory now with the High Republic, and I genuinely think that it will have the minerals to be a good thing. I don't care what anyone says. I want 100 Jedi and 100 Sith running at each other, 300 style. I want that. I want that. That's why the Old Republic has such a big appeal, because it's not necessarily about the individuality of each character. Well, it is, but it's more, you feel the weight of every defeat more. You feel like each defeat is more so because people are dying left, right, and center. In the prequels, you only see battle droids kill people, and then when Anakin turns. In the original trilogy, you see a bunch of stormtroopers get killed, and then the Death Star gets blown up. And then the sequel trilogy, you do see things happen, but you don't see this, you know, like 100 Jedi and 100 Sith just come charging at each other like that. That's the stuff I'm waiting for, and I really hope they do that kind of stuff. Just, you know, maybe not all the time, because it'll lose its novelty, but even if you do it Infinity War style, you build up to a big crescendo, and then you wind down and you tell another story. Now, obviously, it's a few hundred years before the Phantom Menace, so there are certain rules that they need to follow in terms of story, but because it's such an untapped area, they can realistically get away with it. But back on the Clone Wars, though, you know, I'm going to... Do you know what? Hold on. This is how you separate the bandwagon fans, like, i.e. the ones that are just watching it for the sake of it being in the hype, and the ones who actually live and breathe it, right? These. Now, I only had this season on DVD at one time, and I would watch all 20 episodes on repeat. I wouldn't stop. I'd just keep watching one after the other. And the episode Rookies in Season 1 was always a favourite. And then eventually I got the complete set, and then Season 6 as well. And then I thought, you know, Season 6, it was a decent way to end it. But if one thing the Clone Wars showed me is that the Jedi are a bunch of donuts. They're really stupid. You know, I mean, in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, like you see that the Jedi are... They're flawed. They are. Which is one of the things that I will give credit to The Last Jedi for, is it does talk about the problems of the Jedi Order. It talks about the what it's built upon, you know, what it's contained, you know, but the legacy of the Jedi is failure. But then as Yoda comes in and says, no, it's about overcoming that failure and moving forward. So that's one of the things I did like about The Last Jedi, I gotta be honest. But one thing that I am hoping for with this Clone Wars, the final 4 episodes, is I want it to tie straight into Order 66. I don't want any messing around. Maybe the second episode in, right? You go straight to Revenge of the Sith, right? And you go to when Palpatine says, execute Order 66, and you just see a bunch of different things. Now, there's young Kanan in the trailer, and we know he's in Rebels, so it would be interesting if they showed us his master's death and his escape, because then we can go, and that's how Rebels, and then, you know, it will show Clone Wars fans to go and watch Rebels. That's what it will do. It will reintroduce Rebels to a whole load of other fans who are hesitant to give it a go kind of thing. It'll be like a wink, wink, nod, nod kind of thing, you know? Go and check it out. And that was a great show. Not as good as Clone Wars, but it had its moments. But, you know, to see how Maul gets to where he gets to, and then how Ahsoka and Rex escape the situation. I have a feeling that Rex and Ahsoka are going to be under attack from the clones, and Rex is going to try and defend her and get injured. I would love to see something happen with Cody, because I don't think it's actually specified what happens to him. I know in Legends he and even in the Force Unleashed game he stations himself on Kamino training new stormtroopers. But that's it. I don't know if there's anything canon relating to it, and in Rebels, Rex does have like a bit of a PTSD moment where he wakes up and screams Cody. So I am hoping that there's some kind of tie in there. There's something important that happens between Rex and Cody, because throughout the Clone Wars, they were together a lot. They were like the Anakin and Obi-Wan of the clones, if you know what I mean. You know, they were the clone version of Anakin and Obi-Wan. So it would be nice to see what happens to Cody. And I'm just, I'm so excited for these next 4 episodes, because I know, I just know that these episodes are going to play in the background of Revenge of the Sith. I really hope so. I just hope that I hope they haven't showed everything in the trailer. The problem with Lucasfilm lately is they've been showing everything in the trailers. Everything. Movies, spin-offs, you name it. Just, like, sometimes just a minute of footage, and that's all I need to buy a ticket or to sign up to a service to watch something. Sometimes you go a bit overkill, Lucasfilm, Disney, whoever. You go a bit overkill. And, you know, with Rise of Skywalker, there was about 50 TV spots. Like, we just need about 5. And that's it. And that's it. Maybe 1 a week. That's it. But they were releasing like 1 a day. But anyway, I'm excited to get into the final 4 episodes of Clone Wars. Let me know down below, what is your favourite Clone Wars moment? I've got too many. I will probably have to mull that over and work on that, because that's going to take me a while to narrow down. But yeah, you guys comment down below your favourite Clone Wars moment. What have you thought of this season so far? Are you sad the Clone Wars is ending? Are you happy so we can move on to something new? Or are you happy to just sort of ride it out and say goodbye to it? I'm sort of all three. You know, I'm sad to see it go, but I'm happy to see it get a conclusion. And again, I like having the poster there as reference, because, you know, you do need to reach a conclusion. You know, there's a lot of things that do overstay their welcome, and you don't want to milk it any further than it needs to go, essentially. So I really would like it to end on a positive note, and then we bid farewell to it. And then it'll always be there. It'll always be there, and for a lot of people, it's why they like Anakin and Obi-Wan so much, and that's fair enough. You know, I'm a prequel fanboy, and I love Anakin and Obi-Wan in that more than the Clone Wars show. But a lot of people, it's the other way around. It's very interesting. But hey, it's just opinions. Anyway, I will see you on another reaction video soon, or just another video in general. And yeah, may the Force be with you always.